Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would show you a preview of this Carrack-ILC or Imperial Light Cruiser. The name I picked, I don't know. I know it's a Star Citizenship name too, but I kind of liked it. It felt fitting for the kind of ship that this is. But if you got a better name, let me know. I planned on releasing the ship Saturday. I got it pretty much done right now. A couple little things I just realized I wanted to do before doing this video. But this is the bone stock version, basically very stripped down from the other version I've got over there. I'm only going to release the stripped down version. The other one is basically for testing, adding parts, seeing how everything would charge up, seeing how much power it would have, see if there was a problem. And there kind of was, but it's kind of neat that it's got some extra room to overcome that. So taking a look at the numbers on it, it's using 4 advanced core stock, and it's compatible with Reforged Eden and vanilla. So the CPU is not too bad, so 1.2 million CPU stock at least. And it comes with 7 minigun turrets. It has 30 total turret positions and 8 launcher positions on the ship, but it only comes stock with the 7 minigun turrets. And this is your stock speeds. Your strafing is not too wonderful, but pretty good forward, a lot of lift thrust. It is running 4 640 storage controllers and 2 320 ammo controllers in it. And 11-hour and 9-minute build time. It does use some Estrium and Zacosium too. It's a mid-range ship, so it's not a starter ship at all. But it's set up for a lot of extra parts and things. So on the tour, well, basically, one feature here, I'll let that reset a minute. It probably is a little bit screwed up. There's a 5-second delay on the hangar door and the ramp. So they did that on purpose because it has a lower landing bay over here. So you can take in fairly low profile HVs and SVs and dock them to the bottom side of the ship, even when it's parked on the ground, which is, you just can't have it more than about 6 blocks tall, 6-7 blocks tall, or you'll have a hard time fitting that below the landing gear. But when you come up to the hangar door, you'll see the lights come on and a couple sentry guns open up, and then after 5 seconds, the hangar door opens up and the ramps come down. And the reason for that is so you can park under it before that happens. It's the only real working solution for that. So if you were going to fly up here and your intent was to park below it, you just don't mess around and get over here, and then the door will open up for you to get in the ship from the bottom side there. So on the inside of the ship, I do have an info LCD now. I got to add one more entry to it that I forgot about. It has to do with more generators. But it has locations to add 8 small shield parts in the hangar. You've got a couple up on either side over here and a couple in the back. You have locations to add 3 more constructors or deconstructors. It does have 2 advanced constructors stock. There's quite a few cargo boxes around as well. You do have a place for armor repair over here and a repair console. And that's what the C is. The repair bay is actually on the top over here. So you can remove that grate and pop in a repair bay if you want. I could not put it in the hangar due to the thinner hangar floor, trying to make more room for the lower hangar or this lower landing deck. So I had to put it on the top, so I don't know if that's super practical up there. It's good for SVs and stuff, but not so much for HVs on the ground. Well, it's an optional thing. It was kind of a last minute thought. I wasn't actually going to put that on this ship, and then I was like, well, why not? We can accommodate for that. So coming into here, into the ship, it's got 4 different decks on it. First deck basically gets you down to that lower landing pad. Then you have a generator room over here, as well as a shield part room going through here, but you have a location to add a 2nd advanced generator. Over here is where all the CPU cores are. It's just got the 4 advanced ones stock. You have room to add another your 5th advanced basic and 2 improved cores in this room area. There's a little bit of extra room along the wall here too that you could put some more cores and things if you wanted to. There's a lot of little extra room areas in the ship, and I'm glad it has it now. I'll tell you why in a minute here. if you come through this hot generator room, and this is going to be a area that you're not going to want to walk through very much because of the huge heat from that generator there, but it is there is caution on both sides of it. And you got room for 4 medium shield parts in this location here. Walking around the outer hallway is how you're kind of meant to travel through here and not go through the generator room. This is your main central elevator. We're on deck 1 right now, so there's going to be 4 different decks. You have your medical bay over here, and then if you follow this along, you have a room access to put in 2 more medium shield parts. You can also do that from the floor above too. And then you have your front entry door, and you can kind of see where the pentaxa tank and the warp drive is right in front of there. Now, to upgrade the warp drive, it comes stock with a 30 light year warp drive. You can add in, obviously in Reforged Eden, you probably want to upgrade that to the 60 light year version. There's another area to do that, so you don't have to like try to balance on this ramp to do the upgrade. So let's go back to the elevator here. So this is basically deck 1. Deck 2 is got the farm section. So you have you can remove these filler blocks and put in up to 54 grow plots in this area, and then you have grow lights on the switches back in the corner here. A little bit of extra room over here too if you want to add some more cooking equipment or something. If you come down this hallway, you got a bit of a like a mess hall, and then you have access to your shield over here. So if you wanted to like upgrade that, it does come stock with an advanced shield though, so it's not running the littler one stock. This is that other location where you can see those medium shield part locations from this top floor here. And this room again jumps back into the farm. It's just kind of a walkthrough on either side. It's a weird layout in here. It's just different. It's kind of asymmetrical in parts of the ship. Over here is where you can put in your last 2 medium shield parts. You do have to remove the floor grates to do that, but they will fit after you do that. So you can that would bring you to a total of 8 medium shield parts. You got some front thruster access over here, and you come over into this to the very front of the ship, and this is basically a crew room, and you've got a place for well, basically a shower and a toilet as well, and some extra space down over here, which I actually used in the upgraded version of this to dump in some 1x3 generators, because the 2 advanced generators was not enough if you're running all the shield parts. And who knows, if you're running more high-powered weapons and stuff, you may need more yet. Which it's got room, so you could actually dump up to 8 of those in this location, and there's locations to add more. So I think you can actually dump about 12 of those 1x3 generators in the ship if you wanted to. But it only has room for 2 of the big ones, or the advanced generators. So that is this deck. And basically just a lot of upgrade stuff. Now in primary, using the ship, you'd pretty much just be hanging out at the elevator area. This gets down to your production / crafting. You go up to deck 2, you got your farm. You go all the way up and you've got the main bridge. But deck 3, this is new, and I haven't showed this before. Well, I just got it done. This is a location. This is where the main core is chilling out at. Location to add some quantum or auxiliary cores there. Probably a couple more over here. You take this hallway down over here. You got some extra like room on the side. I threw some cargo boxes there for the heck of it. Down here you've got this kind of weird pocket secure bridge, which is in the middle here. This is one thing I forgot to do though. I kind of wanted to do some kind of LCD for the screen over here, but this is just a kind of an internal third-person cockpit. That is kind of below where the main bridge is, but is tucked in a little bit more. So whether you use it or not, that's up to you, but it is there. So that's on deck 3. And then there's a little bit more room again for possibly some more advanced generators over here, and this is just some filler stuff you could remove too if you wanted to add some parts there. So you could add more junk all over the place over here. Or I wouldn't say junk, but more parts. And then deck 4 is basically the bridge. So the bridge has 4 passenger seats, your main pilot seat. There's a lot of ways in and out of the bridge. You can come through either side over here, through the top. here or through the back from the landing pad at the back of the ship. And then you basically just have your kind of off-centered elevator that gets you to all 4 decks. And that is pretty much the layout of the ship. Now on this version over here, basically what I did is I stuck in all the parts that it was meant to put in. And that's a lot of thrusters that I left out of this one. So it's missing a couple of the down thrust, 2 of the 3 strafing thrusters per side. It's missing 1 of the lift thrusters down over here, and 4 of the forward thrusters, which you can put in these angled positions here. So this one's basically got all those thrusters in place, as well as 4 artillery launchers and 4 laser cannons, and 30, well, I just use the cheap ones right now, but 30 minigun turrets are installed on here. A long-range radar, teleporter, the repair bay and console, all the constructors and a deconstructor over there, and all the shield parts, the extra advanced generator, and 4 small generators that I added, or 1x3 generators in the ship. I'm trying to think. I think there was some other parts that I miscellaneously added somewhere too. There's a lot of places for parts, though. Yeah, you can kind of see those medium shield parts chilling out in these rooms here, all over the place. Medium shield parts everywhere. And here's how these fit in this hallway corridor, going to the front of the ship. Now, for the most part, unless you're upgrading and stuff, you really don't need to go anywhere else in the ship besides just hang out in the back by the elevator going from the hangar up to the farm, the secure bridge, and the first-person bridge. So a lot of this area is kind of like, it's just for upgrading your ship and doing things like that. So I'm hoping that the layout in the end is pretty quick and efficient. So it's I know it seems like there's a lot of corridors and places to go throughout the ship, and you can walk through it a little bit, but yeah, it's you don't really need to do a lot of this stuff. Now, what I did do on this version is I added in some generators down over here too, because I realized adding in all the shield parts, it was overtaxing the power. Just the 2 advanced generators were not enough with all the shield parts in there. If you're trying to charge your shields, it would go to about 120 to 130%. So adding those 4 kind of balance that off. You could add another one to be safe if you wanted to. And if you run some more powerful turrets that require more power or something else, basically you've got room to add in more of these smaller generators. You could add another 4 in this lower room down over here, and you could add some more on deck 3 in those side positions here and there as well. So I think you can actually get about 12 of those 1x3 generators in the ship if you wanted to. Didn't need it for what's going on in here right now. And I did put in 7 quantum cores in this ship. So if you take a look at the CPU on this version here, I'm just exceeding 35 or 3.5 million CPU, and this is with 7 quantum cores. No auxiliary cores in here. That would probably actually help a lot. But you can kind of see where this comes out with like everything installed pretty much. This would go up even more putting on better turrets. Most of the turrets require more CPU than what these minigun turrets do. So obviously there's a lot of things you can customize on the ship and tweak it out, give it the weapon loadout you want, play with the power, make sure everything's cool. You've got room to play with all that stuff. Some advanced options if you really wanted to take this to a really higher combat level would be to fill in this front room area, remove all the junk and fill it in with like strong block, Xeno, or something like that, whatever works, just to harden up the front of the ship a little bit. Obviously put on a whole lot better turrets. You know, it was brought up to me too that people are liking the idea of putting the core right below the pilot seat. Now, I couldn't quite get myself to do it. But if you did want to go that route, if you take out the block right below here, which is directly below the pilot seat, so if you get killed, the core will blow, and The only problem with that is the way it's set up right now. I think this block would have to change right below it to a full block to keep it airtight. It's something I thought about doing, but I didn't really kind of want to do that stock. I'm a little nervous about it. It can work, and I understand the reason for it. I just don't know if I want to go that route. But I can see the point. I can certainly see the point in it. So just some customizable options if you wanted to soup up the ship a little bit more. And the big thing would be it's not really documented anywhere, but the hangar is big enough to fit a fusion core in. If you remove like I think a trim block up from the ceiling, put the fusion core in like one area over here, and then you can put 3 large shield parts in the hangar. If you wanted to fill your hangar up with that kind of stuff, you could hop it up a little bit more, and that fusion reactor would basically power all the additional power it needs for the 3 large shield parts, which would bring your shield up quite a lot, especially if you ran 2 banks and 1 charger on that setup. As in the shield, it is at 44,850 with this upgraded version here. Consider that it's running the full amount of small shield parts and medium shield parts, so that would be 4 chargers on each set. I probably won't actually run it that way myself. I'll probably remove 2 of the medium shield chargers, which actually makes the shield go up a little higher than this, because each one of those chargers cuts down the total shield that you have, but of course it will charge faster. So again, completely customizable though. Figure out how you want to do it. If you sub it and use it in the game, it's your ship. Make it work how you want it to work. But hopefully, why this one was tricky is there's a lot of parts I was trying to fit in there. It's got a weird layout on the interior, and a lot of balancing, a lot of trying to how much power am I going to need, how much this, how much that. I wanted to give it like the possibilities to do just about everything in the game as a medium sized ship, or smallest to medium sized ship. But again, if you really tweak this out, if you put on like a bunch of tier 2 really good turrets and some good launchers and the big shield parts and Xeno fill the front of it, and you could make this pretty worthy, for late game stuff. It's not a dreadnought or anything like that though, but it's got a lot of possibilities. Or you can kind of use it as a mid-range ship for a lot of things until you get like a more stout combat end game kind of ship. I can see that taking place too. Now it's just a steel hulled ship though, so it's not a real tough ship. There's a little bit of hard steel blocks right in the front area here, but that ain't much. I mean, obviously, if your shield goes down and you're engaging a powerful enemy, they'll be able to shred your ship pretty quickly. But there's nothing really too important anywhere on the front of the ship. Only if you put in the additional generators and stuff. There's basically some thrusters in here that are kind of a wall barricade between getting into where the actual parts are and the stuff in front of it. So the only exception to that would be using these locations for generators. They are closer to the front of the ship. They're not at the front of the ship though. And then of course there's the whole thing of decoys too. You can always mess with that too. If you did fill in this room with xenoblocks, I would probably throw in some decoy parts in there as well. Now someone was mentioned that a detector also is a valid decoy part. That's something, honestly I didn't put on the ship yet. I'll have to add that to my to-do list, and maybe get one of those on the front here so the AI could shoot at it. But it's not like there's a lot protecting it. Again, this is really intended to be a shield-based ship and not like a tank-style ship. I'm just thinking of all possibilities. If you did want to kind of convert it into a little bit of a tanky ship, the steps that you'd want to take to do that, and obviously fill in a lot of the front of it and decoys and other things like that. But I wasn't really intending on it to be that kind of ship. It's kind of smallish to handle all that. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what it's all about and where the numbers come out, and everything seems to be working pretty good right now. So I'm pretty happy about that. Last thing on the video too, was in a comment, I realized that I did not have oxygen in the cockpit bridge area on this ship. So I did add that and updated the blueprint. So basically I added a ventilator right here. It's airtight. I just I must have forgot. When I was reworking the upstairs in the ship, I didn't think about the oxygen on it. It did have oxygen at one point in time until I decided to rework the blocks a little bit, and then I must have removed it and forgot to put it back in. But I did update the blueprint on the workshop, so it is oxygenated. Oxygenated. I think, yeah. Words, they escape me. But anyway, that's all I've got for today. And I just wanted to show you a preview of this and what you can expect upgrading it, and where all the part locations are and all the different parts you can add into here. And keep in mind, it's a total of 16 shield parts, 10 thrusters, 30 turrets, 8 launchers, constructors. It's a lot of stuff you can dump in the ship. Anyway, you all have yourself a great day, and I do plan on releasing this Saturday, I do believe. So tomorrow I'll probably be doing the look at the workshop, and I didn't want to try to release a ship on the same day as that because that's going to take up most of my free time to get that video done. So this way I can do it on Saturday and be happier. So if you're interested in the ship, should be on the workshop this Saturday, probably sometime in the early afternoon. All right, adios.